Taurus, welcome back for your twin flame reading. We're going to have a look at what is going on for between now and the 16th. And the reason why I'm doing the video like that, and I'm going to do a mid-month, is because we are in the energy of sort of like the underworld, coming out of it, sort of seeing certain things and feeling it's the correct path, but not really having the complete clarity. So it can be slight regret around that time, and things can shift very quickly. So I'm tuning into the frequency so we can have a look, and then there will be an update of or before the 16th, so you can see what's coming and prepare. Now, be very cautious with your communication. Again, if you are stuck and you've got the blocks and you haven't dealt with them, it can hinder the journey. So book a reading with anyone that you feel spiritually connected to. Otherwise, the blocks usually will come up in a sense of a purge, and you'll note them. But, you know, try to release in a sense that you can do the work on inside yourself. Also, when you look at your counterpart, it can give you some ideas into what you may need to work on, because your 3D life will start showing you that direct frequency. So it can be your children, your parents, your co-workers start mirroring a bit of your own previous frequency that you transmuted with your twin. And that can show you something that directly needs to address. And it can be a repetitious thing that's coming through, but with different people. And I'm not talking about relationships, okay? I'm talking about more connections in general, and energies and things that we directly learn. Now, again, I would like to have a big warm welcome to those of you who are new. I hope you stay. I do live sessions on the channel. 2019, the 1st of January, I will be launching a new twin flame channel. Now, I usually just do collective energy, masculine and feminine updates here. I haven't really gone too deeply into doing each one zodiac by zodiac, because it is very time consuming. But I'm going to start doing them here initially to give you an example, but they're going to be longer over the other side, and there will be potentially super chat there at a later date, not too long. Now, let's have a look at the energy that's coming through. Okay, there's deep reflection between the both of you at the moment, and that's very this boredom in what's going on, boredom in the status quo, how it's traveling, why it hasn't got off the ground, Taurus, okay? Now, your crowning energy is you're really lacking the oomph and the passion in order to get this connection off the ground. You feel you've tried every direct way in order to address it, deal with it, and you just can't see the reason why it can't get off the ground. You are being fiercely independent, masculine or feminine, however this connects. Now, the energies can jump. So the energy and the frequency of what's coming through, take what you will. Otherwise, you know, look at the actual rising signs. There is an independent energy here for you, though. So it's you being independent or them, because when it comes through on their side, it can be that they're aware of this. There's an independent frequency coming through after the fact of you being left out in the cold and this not going the way you thought it would physically go. Now, I'm hearing, to a degree, it can be a bit of bitterness connected to counterpart, which a lot of us have been experiencing in the last few weeks, especially in trigger forms. They can come in very quickly in a sense of anger, transmute out, and then you feel okay again. Now, it can be the energy of we reap what we sow. Anger towards you, anger towards counterpart, thoughts of you thought you were going to have an abundant connection. You don't understand what's going on. It just doesn't make sense. Now, on their side, there is going to be a change for the better. Whatever that's going to be, again, look at their sign, and that's going to tell you what is going on in their 3D life. Okay, they're trying to gain a balance. And again, balance is directly connected to Venus. So this transformation is happening during this cycle. It's also, they're trying to become more well-rounded. They're looking at their finances, and perhaps that was a block spiritually in order to gain a union with you. And again, when we have this mirroring effect, we do need to look at how that directly relates to us. So if you have this mindset of, why don't you, you know, it could be they're in a connection and they don't want to leave the direct connection, or they're connected to their job and all they do is work. There is a direct mirror in it. It might be that we are so deeply in love with them and they're so deeply in love with cash components. Not to say they're not in love with you, but they're shifting their focus onto something outside of themselves, where not one of us can be whole until we shift it into the inside of us. And then whatever we want, that manifests. But when we're in that panic mode, we tend to sabotage the things that we directly want. So there is a mirror energy coming through in a frequency for you guys. Now, in the past, your counterpart or you either cheated on each other or it's physically happened to them. Okay, it may be they're in a karmic connection. It might be they're in a soulmate connection. It may be they were with you and then went with somebody else. But however this goes, it is what they're needing to address in order to break that cycle in order to move forward. Now, if this happened to you, the energy in the shoe is shifting. This can be then happening to them. Strange way universe works. Now, between you, 2 times it comes through. Both of you in your own life had been left out in the cold, okay? There's sorry, regrets connected to what didn't come through between the 2 of you. It is going to take strength to actually move to the next level and keep going. And some of you, you know, you're wavering. No, I've forgotten them. I don't need this connection. Again, if you are directly working with your twin, these frequencies can still be coming through, even if you're in a partnership with them. It can be the old frequencies to purge. So, you know, it is very hard this year to actually be in a connection, a soulmate connection or a twin connection, because we are going through a transformative healing state. And so our energies are being directed in 1 or 2 directions, and to keep balanced in that is very difficult. At the heart of the matter of what you both want is divine union, okay? Now, what's affecting them or going on in the 3D that is really cementing it in? This can be for good or bad. Injustice is happening in their life. So when we have blocks in the road, this is where we actually get to a point where we fight, where we say, okay, this isn't right. Yes, I might have to balance it or might have to correct it. It's, you know, it's what is really pulling them down to the 3D. So it can be that if they've done wrong by you, they're sitting there and they're having that mass realization of, gee, what have I done? This can go vice versa as well. Very much tune into, you know, the further into the journey you get, you are more telepathically inclined to connect in with your counterpart, where you will transmute the same frequency. So the awareness of their frequency towards you is very much regret. And gee, there was an injustice here. It was a bit unfair the way I directly dealt with this. I need to directly change this and deal with it at a correct level. It can be that that's happened to them in their life and they're addressing that aspect. Then they will gain the clarity of how to balance this situation. A lot of the times the pain comes on both sides, not from counterpart, but from other people previously, and we've added it to each other. So we do go into connections with baggage. Twins are heavier on the baggage factor, and we're purging and purging because we grow so large energetically and get humbled, that whatever we're going through, it will be happening on both sides. Okay, so for them, what is up in the air? Conflict. Not knowing how to deal with it. How do we get out of it? Having to climb out of it. Their fear-based frequencies are coming to fruition. What they know to the core about you will come to fruition. They're understanding this, but they've got to get through the conflict in order to have that 5D turn into a 3D. At the moment, they're feeling it's a dream, it's causing them conflict, and it's their fear-based energies of not being with you. And that's for those of you who aren't together. Now, what is driving them at a passionate level, or blocking them really, where they're not feeling balanced and alchemizing their emotions and moving it into their life in a positive way? They are working very hard. They're all work, no play. Again, on this occasion, they're looking at it very differently. They're dealing with that frequency and energy. And I'll pull a clarifier on that. It may be that they have become very successful in their work area, and it might come a time when they're afraid to walk away from that, due to the fact that it's taken them a long time, or several times, 3 times even for some, to get to the point that they can build this. And the only thing that will break that down is realizing internal is lack. So if they've achieved outside of themselves, it then directly, as a mirror, shows them inside is empty, and that can't fill them. From an achievement point of view, yes. But once the goal has been attained, you need another goal. And when you have put all you can into it, there's nowhere else to go. Do you know what I mean? So then you have to go in, and then you realize you'll never look out again, if that makes sense. I'm still working at that one. Okay, so the clarification for that is actually seeing the truth in it, okay? Seeing the truth that all work, no play is in balance, because internally it counts as well. They're not surprised. They knew this. They were doing it to keep themselves occupied. They are coming out of the emotions connected to it, so it's lackluster. So the passion connected to it, they're realizing it's a pastime. It's something that they're very good at. They're very skilled at, but at the same time, it has been blocking them from what's truly abundant inside, which is themselves, first in duality, and then a spiritual connection. Okay, so at an emotional level, which is 4D, their intent, they're fearing the fact that they know this is what they're going to do. And what will it mean? Jumping in the deep end. How am I going to do this? Oh my gosh, am I ready? Now, a lot of these energies can be coming through where the intent in the readings are coming through in a mindset, then the tower moments happen, then the direct action is applied, then they move forward. I do feel for many of you, you will start getting communication. Although I do feel December is very strong for half of us getting to the point we'll wait till next year. The others of us is like sharp shifts even without our control. So try and keep as grounded as possible. Otherwise, check in with us again mid-month and we'll tune into the energy of what's coming through for you guys. At the moment, there is a 360 going on. They're having an awareness of what's going on and they're working emotionally on the things that they never wanted to look at. But I'm feeling their frequency accepting and calm and acknowledged, I'm hearing. So I'll talk to you mid-month. Otherwise, join us for the live sessions where you can ask questions and I can give you live updates psychically as to what I'm seeing collectively. And I'll see you during the month.